are going to see over here uh, Java data types. What are the Java data types and how they are different from other languages. So just briefly, yesterday only we have discussed all these things, that identifier in Java can start with underscore or dollar, and these are the standard conventions that the variable or method name should be starting with the lowercase. Okay, so you can see over here as shown in the example, like uh, uh, honking big variable name. Okay, so h is small and every other word is starting with the capital letter. Okay, and all the constants, like suppose I want to declare a constant for say pi, then that will be in the complete capital case. Okay, so pi is a constant and that is why it is in the capital letters only. Okay, so classes starts with the capital letter, internal words are capitalized, all others are lowercase, like, so this will be the name of the class while this will be the name of method. Try to feel the change. Okay, यहाँ पे this is the name of the variable which starts with the small letter. Okay, and here it is name of the class and that is why it is starting with the capital letter. Of course, these are all the standard naming convention. It does not mean that if you don't follow these rules, your program will not get compiled. That is not the case. But of course, it is a standard naming convention, because as your program grows exponentially, it is better to follow all these standard naming conventions, so that just by reading the name of the variable or name of the class, you will be able to justify for what purpose it is, and all those things. Okay, so these things should be taken care of. Now there are data types which are called as a primitive data types. Okay, so byte, short, int, long, float, double, boolean, and character. So all these are the data types in Java. Okay, byte, short, int. Okay, all these are different. Byte, short, int, then long, float, double, boolean, and character. Okay, so there are in all 8 data types. These are called as a primitive data type. That means they are very basic to the Java program, and that is why they are called as a primitive data type. Byte, short, int, long, float, double, boolean, and character. Okay, so these are like say here in byte data type, it has a very small limit. I think it is up to from minus 157 to 157. Likewise the limit is, we are going to see in the very next slide. Then there are classes and objects. Okay, so predefined or user defined data types are consisting of these constructor, methods, fields, variables, and all other things. Okay, so let us try to see over here in this table. As you can see, the data type byte is 8-bit signed integer. Okay, so 8-bit signed integer, so that is why it is minus 128 to 127. So if such type of number you need to store, such type of limited number you want to store, then you can easily use the byte data type. Okay, so for that purpose byte data type can be easily used, because it is having a very small range, minus 127 to 127. For example, if you want to store roll number, generally the roll number would not go beyond a limit of 60. Okay, so this is a good data type to use it. Okay, then short is there. Short is 16-bit signed integer, so it has a range -32768 to 32767. So that is the range for short. Then integer, it is a 32-bit signed integer. Then these are the possible values in the range that you can store. Then long is a 64-bit signed integer value. As you can see, very huge amount of data can be stored inside the long. Then float, it is having a real value. Float and double will be having a real value. That means there is something after decimal point. So if I want to store the value of pi, say 3.14, now the value of pi is really unpredictable. You can go on and on and on. There are n number of digits that can be added after decimal point. So it depends upon what kind of application you are developing. Depending upon that, you can choose float or double. So it can be a 32-bit floating point or 64-bit floating point number. Then boolean is true or false. Okay, so note, Java booleans cannot be converted to and from other types. Okay, so इसका मतलब क्या हो गया कि now this boolean data type cannot be converted to any other data type. Okay, any other data type. It is strictly true or false only. Okay, you cannot have any other value, neither you can convert them into any other data type. Okay, and then you have character data type, which is very special in Java, and it is a 16-bit character data type, and it is supporting the Unicode character set. Now this Unicode character set, you must understand what is the meaning of this Unicode character set. It is the character set which covers, I hope, all the languages which are available in throughout the world. थ्रू द वर्ल्ड जितनी भी लैंग्वेजेस है उसमें जितने भी कैरेक्टर्स है, all those characters can be included in this Unicode. Okay, so that is the speciality of this Unicode character data type. Okay, just a minute. Okay, so this is the speciality of the Unicode character, that it can accommodate all the characters which are available in all the languages throughout the world. Okay, and they are denoted like this /u, and then there are 4 bits. Okay, so 000 to FFFF. Okay, so that means these are nothing but these are the हेक्साडेसिमल नंबर्स 0 to f. 0 to f है, इसका मतलब क्या है, कौन सा है ये, हेक्साडेसिमल नंबर. दैट मीन्स देर आर 15 सिंबल्स. 0 को पकड़ेंगे तो 16. ओके, सो दैट इज 0 to FFFF 4 times. Okay, so these are the data types in the Java programming language. Okay, now I think this we have already discussed, but still, what are the classes and objects? So, class is synonymous with data type, as I have told you yesterday only, that it is as good as writing circle C. ऐसा लिखना क्या, circle C is as good as writing int I. Why? Because this is your inbuilt data type, while this is a user defined data type. This is the name of the variable, and here it is the name of the variable. So it is one and the same. Okay, only difference is that this is a user defined data type. User defined data type. Okay, this is user defined data type, while this is your what, inbuilt data type. We have just seen that this data type is a inbuilt data type. So while declaring the variable, you can use the name of the class to declare the variable. Okay, objects is like variable. The data type of the object is some class, then referred to as a instance of a class. So जो भी ऑब्जेक्ट होते हैं उनको क्या बोला जाता है? They are nothing but instances of the classes. Okay, then what the class can contain? It can contain the implementation detail of the data types. Okay, that means necessarily a class can contain another class, and the interface for programmers who just want to use the data type. Okay, so it may contain all those type of things. Then objects are complex variables, so usually multiple pieces of internal data, various behaviors are carried out via the methods. Okay, now how to create the object? This also we have seen yesterday only, that it is a two-step activity. Okay, so just declare the variable type, say rectangle r1, and then use the new operator to assign the particular memory. Okay, so r1 is equal to new rectangle, so necessarily this is nothing but your constructor. Okay, this is what, this is called as a constructor. Okay, so new operator क्या करेगा? constructor को call करेगा, and that constructor will initialize the object. Okay, so alternatively you can write rectangle r2 is equal to new rectangle. Again, this is the name of the reference variable. r1 is a reference variable, and then a new object is getting created. So in memory, the memory picture is like this. So this will be r1 variable, okay, which is basically on different type of memory, and then I think this is on the stack. All these reference variables are on the stack, and this is a heap memory wherein this particular object resides, and then this variable points towards this object. Okay, so these r1, r2, what these are called as a reference variable. These are called as a reference variable, which are necessarily stored on a stack. Okay, so this is a different memory, and then you have a different set of memory which is called as a heap, and that heap memory will have these objects. Okay, yes, ये जो rectangle का object है ये कहाँ पे है? This is over here, and this r1 will be pointing towards this. So this is the inbuilt memory picture of how the objects are getting created. Now you can have the calling to the method. So via the dot operator you can say r2 dot set size, or string s2 is equal to r2 dot to string. So it is doing what? It is calling the method which are available to this particular object or the reference variable. So to string method ये कहाँ से आई? The to string method comes to the rectangle class from the object class. Why? Because object is the ultimate parent class of any Java class. जावा का कोई भी क्लास लिखो आप, even without using the concept of inheritance, you are inheriting from the object class only. So ultimately, anything you return in Java, whether it is a class or whether it is an interface, all the classes and interfaces have ultimate parent class as object class, and this to string method is defined inside the object class, and as this rectangle class is inheriting from the object class, this method is available with R2. Okay, so set size may be the method which is already defined in the rectangle, but what about this toString method? ToString method is not certainly defined in the rectangle class, but it is getting inherited from the object class, which is ultimate parent class of any Java class or any Java interface. Okay, so these are the built-in classes. Many number of built-in classes are there. So string, mass, integer, character, double, all these are called as a wrapper classes. Basically ये जो डेटा टाइप का और इसका नाम जो सेम दिख रहा, they are called as a wrapper class. Okay, and what is the purpose of wrapper class? The purpose of wrapper class is whenever you want to treat the primitive data type as an object, then you need to use these wrapper classes. Why? Because only primitive data type and operators are the two things which are not object in Java. Everything else is a object in Java. Okay, everything else is a object in Java, and that is why to facilitate even to do that, you have these type of classes wherein they are called as a wrapper classes. Okay, so all integer, double, character, float, all these classes are available, and basically these bundle of classes are collectively known as a wrapper class. Then you have system, array, scanner, file, object, and all many number of inbuilt classes are there. Okay, and this is a import statement. We generally import the things from other packages. This we will study in the next lecture. Any issue, any problem up till now?